All right, hi, and welcome to Moral High Ground, where I'm gonna talk about what's morally right in some form or another. So, today I'm talking about changing the black community. Now, I could have said, well, fixing the black community, changing things that might work in the black community, whatever. I had a better title and then I lost it. But anyway, my whole point is this, okay? So, the black community is a community of people who've tried more than anything than any other people in America to try to find a place to accept it, to be understood, to be proud, and to walk with strength and extreme great character. With this being said, there are so many things that happen in a black person's life that will bring you down and make sure that you stay down. And not just stay down, but not be able to recover from the nonsense that comes your way. Now, not too many other cultures can say this type of stuff. And because they had already found ways to back each other up or get respected by the ultimate overseers, okay, that try to predict everything that's going on in this country. So I'm gonna say it like this, okay? It's time for a change. And not that there's just time for a change in the world, but time for a change in the black community. And not one like Black Lives Matter, because they didn't put a solid stamp on the things they wanted changed. And when I say a solid stamp, I mean they didn't take anything to Congress, they didn't pass any bills to make whatever laws that they wanted changed legally and known to all races in the community in the United States of America, pretty much. Okay. We need to stop this behavior that black people have now compared to what black people had then. It's easy to talk about how in the old ways, black families would come together, everyone in the family, no matter if it was cousins, nieces, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, everyone was there. And now you get it to the point where there's nobody around, really. There's a certain set group, cliques, as you wouldn't say, they come together and they go off in their own little area, but they're all there with the rest of the family, but they go separate. Some girls got an attitude now in the black community where they want to look at each other or they just laugh at everybody else or whatever type of thing. Communicate, socialize, get to know. The more you know, the more you grow. You dig? And I'm just like, it's got to change. They got the guys that sit back and they so fucking you know hard they can't fucking excuse my I keep saying that, but they keep trying to act like there's something they're not, portraying a certain thing. I think the biggest problem in the black community is hatred amongst each other and gossip about each other. If you like a dude or whatever, there's no point in trying to go and talk bad about this person, or you're jealous of the person, whatever. Ain't no point in talking about that individual. Keep that person's respect and don't do that. Don't make somebody else come down to your level to make you glorify yourself. Okay, don't try to project your nonsense onto someone else so that other person looks bad to everybody that they meet. Don't go talk to someone that they just met and go say, or that you just met, and then make that other person look stupid. Oh yeah, my cousin this and that, or my brother that and this, and then make them sound like they're crazy or they're bad people when they ain't even had to get a chance to meet the person yet. And because your family or whatever, it puts a label on top of that person because they're gonna believe the family over the person, even though that's the stupidest shit. Like I said, you're not knowing that individual. Okay, so this need to stop. The gossip needs to stop. Or oh, this person's got this and that, and so you come, you try to work them. Oh, maybe they like doing this and that. You quit trying to label people. Quit trying to use people and take advantage of people. This shouldn't be the way. This ain't the way. The way is to try to unite, come together, and love each other and respect each other. All that belittling stuff is dumb. And you already know that us black people can diss people better than anybody else. That doesn't mean we have to. That doesn't mean you have to belittle your own kind, what they got, who this is tit for tat. All that nonsense got to go. What's that big bank take little bank nonsense? That stuff got to go. You know what I'm saying? Who cares what you got? There's this group of men I met a while ago, a religious set of black Hebrew people. And when I met them, they were talking about how, because I'm always obsessed with ancient texts of cultures and gods. And so they were talking about the true meaning of being a black Hebrew. They were talking about how they believed the patriarchs to be, meaning Moses or Jesus. And I was, fascinated in what they were talking about, and they gave me literature to find more of this information, which I have researched somewhat. But one thing they did say that I did like was they were able to mention about kind of like uh, not like a raffle or anything. I'll just explain it. So let's say there's a family, a black family, and let's just say, they're struggling. There's like four kids or maybe six, and there's a mother and a dad's injured medically or something. So this group, this black Hebrew group, will go amongst everybody in the group or the religion that's black and say, hey, put up, we're all going to put $20 into this thing. And there might be a congregation of 100 people in this black Hebrew thing. They all put $100 into this thing, and then they give it to the individual who has nothing, that is suffering, the family, and they're able to proceed and do things the way they want in their life, and they're able to advance, and everyone continues to do their own thing because they all got their money or whatever. So I like that concept, but I like it in a broader scale, more wider, larger, huge scale of helping black folks helping black folks without the religious Hebrew belief system involved. I believe that if black families did this over this one religious set, if black families did this, then it'd be a lot easier to help someone. Now, I know drugs is a thing in the community of black folks, and it's always been there as a stipulation to say that black people were lazy or just downright criminals, and this is what they do in society. But my thing is this: instead of trying to, you know, help that person financially, help that person figure out what the demons is that's got them trapped in that thing, and release them suckers. It's the only way to make that work, and I believe it should happen once again in all family settings. And get the black person that you love in your family out of that addiction, out of that demon possession, and get them on the right path. But back to what I'm saying about this money thing, I believe you should help those that are trying to. It should be a thing where the pot of money comes in, where everyone comes in together to help someone that's in need, but not just the ones that's in need, but the ones that's trying to succeed, the ones that are trying to make businesses, the ones that are trying to make collaborations and all this. Okay, come together in your family and go, how can we help them? If this person's trying to be a writer, oh, I know this person that's a black publisher, or I know this person that's a black editor, and come together and try to get this person back to where they want to be successfully. And with doing so, it would make a big impact in the black community if all people in every family was looking out for folks like this. Bring your money in and help. Okay, and it's the strengthening of family right there, because they say this person believed in my ability to create something. They had a belief in my business idea. My family trusted me enough to give me money, and I'm so grateful. That's what type of stuff you would get if this was to happen. And I believe it's something that needs to happen, because that's the main struggle and the main problem all black people have is that we want money, but there's not enough. And then even if they get money, it's going to be at all costs. And some of the costs that they put themselves in to get the money, it ain't worth it. So that's the problem right there, is to try to eliminate that not worth it part of trying to get money, to making it something where You got great value in what you created and what you're doing in life. And so this money pot, I'm calling it the money pot because I don't know any other way to make it sense out of it. It only should occur when there's some family member with illness or families that's suffering financially or a family member that's trying to succeed. And at the same time, a family member that's just trying to survive. Now, this could easily happen in any community, any type of setting, but I believe the strong point of this is to try to make a bond and unify and come together as a people. And so, this one concept of money pot should be a great thing that should happen across the whole United States to bring black people closer. And then another thing that has to be done is we're going to have to, dial the scale down on this. We got this outside influences within the black community that corrupts the black community, that keeps them dormant or pushed aside because they want to sit back and believe in all these weird ass things that keep coming up in the culture, American culture, and they bring it into the black community and it ruins things. Now, what I'm talking about is something no different than what the Native Americans do and have done in the beginning, where they chose to keep their own language or chose to be only around their people to strengthen their people. And in some cases, it might lead to, because they want to keep the bloodline pure, so they don't really get outside uh, replicated DNA. They don't replicate different DNA. It's just the same one kind of. Every now and then, there's outside influence that comes in and changes the DNA strands. And once again, I'm getting too deep into science, but I knew I was going to eventually. But so my point is being, and I'm not talking about just black people stay with black people, breed with black people, which is a thing. But I'm talking about making it to where all black women are desirable, to all black men. And this is just something that needs to be said because we're all supposed to, when it comes to picking a mate for marriage, you have to find someone that understands you to the point to where you can always go to that person with any problem or any type of situation. And in some cases, this is why some interracial relationships don't last. This is why some different families can't stick together because they don't understand somebody. To understand the individual means you have to have patience to listen, to truly try to believe in that person and what they're saying, not just accept things that are being said about that person or take your own selfish opinions on the individual based off of something you believe when it comes to either men or women, or something you believe that it comes to a person that lives a certain lifestyle. You have to automatically put true faith and true trust into this individual. And so these people need to be heard. Man, a lot of people, players and hustlers and all that jazz, but you can only play so long until you play yourself. And that's the honest to God truth. This is why some people get asked out after all that playing. Karma is a hell of a thing. And so my point being, women in the black community, it doesn't matter about it. They're not, because they get this whole thing where we're black and beautiful, or we're beautiful. Why don't guys like this type of thing? It's not about that. It's about the way you present yourself. If you're always nagging and harassing, and this is a common trait around all women, but in the black community, I'm not sure black women are aware of how they batter men sometimes with the nonsense. And it's just time to, like, it doesn't make you desirable. In some cases, like, it happens, like I said, once again, in every culture, but if black women go a little overboard, and it has to be put down a bit. I understand it in some cultures, it's like, hey, let's, they're arguing or whatever, because it's like you got two choices: either have sex with a woman while they're frustrated and whatever, or leave. You know, other guys take it a whole different route. They either have sex with a woman or beat the hell out of her. And this is where the problem comes, and this is why domestic violence is a thing, because you're pretty much humiliating a man, or how can I say provoking. They're provoking a man to do the most heinous things to you. And then in some cases, women use it as a tool to say this guy is abusive to get things they want inside society by the government, which is something I believe needs to be pushed away from the black community. We don't need the government constantly trying to raise our children, instruct our children to do things, and teach them things that's ungodly. And that's the number one is teaching things that's ungodly. And I believe that's been going on through the black community for a long time now because we don't have that strong connection like when Martin Luther King was around or Malcolm X, you know. And I believe what made them conquer in those situations was because they believed in something and they didn't fall for anything. I mean, everyone falls for anything pretty much nowadays. And so it's a priority, it's an obligation to treat your opposite sex partner as royalty. As royalty, as your best friend, your bond, your Bonnie and Clyde, your Mickey and Mallory Knox. I don't care what you want to call it, but have that type bond where no one can get in between. It's you and that person against the world, fighting against all odds to make something happen, to become one through childbirth and whatnot. You know, that's what I believe. People become one, they have a kid, both DNA come together, and you create a whole new person that has both personalities and both traits that pop up randomly that shock the hell out of the parent. But there's no reason why they should have a thing where black women are trying to push a man away. But another thing that's bad is in the black community is when you got a black person who's educated, who speaks proper or whatnot. And this is where I'm going with this is a big number, a big problem in the black community. And you know, you can call it a black on black crime or a black person being whitewashed. I don't know how the hell to say it properly. But the thing is, okay, so let's just use Carlton for example from Beverly, you know what I'm saying, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So, you know, he's dorky dude, black dude, really trying to be a yuppie, you know, and he can dance like white people do. And so, as funny as it comes off on the show, the thing about it is in the black community, this person is not accepted. And he's not accepted because of this. This type of thing should be abolished. Even if he's got his characteristics that way, we are not in a black nation. We are in a white nation. So their beliefs, their entertainment, their things, it all leaks onto us. And I don't care how many of y'all say you don't watch something white. Then that's all we got majority of the time growing up. And even though we're in a time period now where they make multiracial shows, a lot of them imitate what we known as white shows back in the day. As well on top, I mean, look at the Honeymooner remake they made. They made a Honeymooner remake and used black characters. If it was just a black nation, it would be like imitating the good times over again, you know. But instead, they used the honeymooners. So my point is this: you can't push that person aside because they obtain things from the white culture. You must take that person, respect them, and honor them, but at the same time, show them the respect that black people still care for them and love them, whatever. But once again, on top of that, you want to help them respect you to where you can use the knowledge to help other black people that person may have that most black people don't. You know, it's the only way to grow stronger. When it comes to business or success, you have to learn things from other cultures. You have to. Or we just stay dumb. You have to move steadily forward. But the point is, that type of thinking, pushing someone aside because of how they act and believe, it's understandable that they might be a little overboard with it and might switch aside. But if you're showing love and respect, like I said, and having being patient and listening, you will bring that person closer to your side. And so that's what I'm saying. My point, pretty much, what I'm trying to get at is black people help and respect and love all black people, regardless of what the hell is wrong with them. because there's always something wrong with somebody somewhere, no matter who they is. You know, there's some little thing that's stopping them from achieving greatness or finding that connection. But black women should not isolate the fact that this is another black man. Should find a way to overcome and love that person for who they are. And so that's the thing. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that you always hear the crap about, there ain't no good guys on stuff. But the good guys in the black community are the ones that are a little bit more understanding of other cultures and other things like that. So if you want that good man, you need to find that one and not just look for the same old crap, with the gang people and all this other stuff that's going on. Because that's what they fall for. Because they want the bad guy. So that comes to another point of what I'm trying to say. Black people shouldn't be represented for all the negative things in the American society. Shouldn't be represented just for gangs. Shouldn't be represented for drug dealing. He shouldn't be represented behind theft. He shouldn't be represented behind any of that. None of that. Okay? Should be represented as a person that's trying to, or should I say, that has a heritage of changing America in ways that impact the whole culture. And those that ain't black don't understand what I mean when I say that. And those that are black probably thinking where I'm going with this. The point is this: like, just look at the music. Every music in America was created by a black person, and then it got stolen and taken over by a white person. So black people create a whole new style of music, even bluegrass. Bluegrass, they playing banjos and stuff and things. Banjos was really originally created by a black person. So then to take that and then turn it into what they got is bluegrass and considered hillbilly music now is actually insane. Even Beethoven, which I will prove on another episode, is that Beethoven has a black ancestor that actually was in classical music that led to him making the classical music, jazz, funk, blues, rock, soul music. I can go on and on and on. Country, all of it has a root in black culture. Sports, some of the sports were all created by white people. That is right. But who rocks and dominates it? Black people. Black people do all this with entertainment when it comes to sports. You can watch old black and white basketball games, and all you're gonna see is white people on the court. But it wasn't really popular until black people on the court. Then you got people like Jordan, who's literally flying, and nobody know how the hell he's flying. Okay. Then you got people like Bo Jackson back in the day get on the football field, baseball field. He can do all the damn sports at one time and come back and be like, hey, I'm Bo Jackson, just do it. Buy some Nikes. Okay. And it's just like this type of thing should be not looked at as like these people are entertainers. And this is what I think other cultures look at when it comes to black folks is that we're just entertainers. We're just people who make music. We're people who do sports. And this is the only thing that black people are truly respected and glorified for, but it shouldn't be that way. There's lots of us that has intelligence, capabilities to do things that most people and men don't think about. And obviously, being one of the oldest cultures in the world, we should be respected. Okay? Everyone knows black people's been around forever, and every culture has a root of darker people. You get dark Indian people from India. You get dark Filipinos. You get dark everything. Black looking people. And the reason to buy this is because we're the oldest culture. But yet, like some things that's new, you tend to hate where you come from. And this is where all the racist and all that negativity shit comes from. With that being said, we should safeguard everyone in our community that is black. Pull those gangbangers back and show them love and respect so they feel like their family is their family. Pull this drug dealer to his point and say, hey, you rather work in this business idea I got that's going to make millions. You know what I'm saying? We got to find a way to separate these negativities. And I understand creativity when it comes to rap. Hell, I got albums out there. Just look for it on Spotify. A Big Black African, Get Away from Mayberry Hills. It's funny because I try to be funny. And the other one is Big Black African, Respect Knuckles, Big Black African, Serial Madness, and the Big Black African, turn them shits up in Asian Thug or whatnot. And so And then there's another one that for some reason is like blacklisted everywhere, like called Crack and Pavement. But my point is that where was I going with this? I lost track advertising my stuff by not trying to advertise it. But the thing is this, okay, so you listen to my music and you sit there and you're like, what the hell is this? The point is to try to be funny in different ways to come out and make a message that will make sense, even though it doesn't. And I lost my train of thought talking about this whole subject. My main focus is, because I'm going off topic, is to unite black people, to bring more love, respect, and honor to black people, to get rid of the talking about bad about people and gossiping and making them feel bad and make them feel one with the rest of the culture. Walk around feeling proud and strong and making things come down. Intelligent black people being out there teaching other people to be intelligent. You know, it can happen. You know, changing the school system. Right now, what they're teaching in public schools is not a thing for every kid and every coach to know. If certain people want to make their kids transgender, okay, that's a good thing. It shouldn't be a thing that should be taught to black children. You know, it shouldn't be a thing taught to any children, to be honest with you. But, and that's this thing where I believe this is where the separation from state education and government education and private schooling is a thing that needs to happen. You know, more private schooling and less uh, public schooling, because public schooling messes people up. And I just have to say that even though I've been to public school originally, I started off in Christian Catholic schools. And I was reading good and everything. Then once I got in public school, it became started developing stupid problems. Like I couldn't read well because everyone's making fun of you how you read in school. You know, so it's like I kind of like went dumb and backwards and somehow developing. You know, but then again, the bad thing about public school was I used to be left-handed. It kept smacking me with a ruler to where I'm right-handed. Now I'm ambidextrous, which is kind of good in a way because I can do things that most people can't with my other hands. That other people can't, like hold a hammer with my left hand and use it. Most people don't do that. And it's other things. It's totally different things. Anyway, damn it, I went all off track talking about my music, but I had it all written out. Told you most of it I written out, but my point is that we need to unify, we need to strengthen, we need to make things better and safe, not just for the black people that's around now, but for the future kids. America's not going to just change on people wanting this, you know, 40 acres and a mule rumor, or should I say fantasy, that's been going around America for hundreds of years. No, we got enough money that could be made right now to where we don't need that handout. We just need to come together and make it something happen. Okay, sit back and let someone show you how it's done and make that happen. Okay, we have to sit back and support one another. We have to accept all things. And I don't care if the dude's cussing you out and because he's already feeling separate from the rest of the community. Pull that sucker in and say, look, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna have fun regardless of what you're saying. You're gonna understand. I got love for you, brother. I got love for you, sister. I don't care how much you hate a black man. You're gonna listen to me today. You're gonna listen to me today, and we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it right. You're gonna tell a little black kid, look, I don't care how smart he is and what you banging with. You're gonna come over here and you're gonna sit here and eat and chill with the rest of us and understand something. You know, that we can come together and make some money. Your kids are concerned, we're gonna make you like the new edition. Okay? The new edition. Okay? And just straight up, you know, make stuff happen right. You know, we can do things as a people. And once that happens, strengthen each other, have each other's back. I don't care if a kid comes up missing, you see a kid go with somebody else, you call on the horn to every other black person you know, look, I seen this kid get taken by this person. It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Or a girl. I seen this girl go off with this man who doesn't make sense. And that way you protect your own kind, your own people. The subject can go on all day. But I'll say, peace be with you all. Blessings upon you always. I reached the hundreds of subscribers. Thank God. Peace. Peace to all y'all.